Here's a rewritten version of your request. A long, detailed article, approximately 10,000 characters, that transforms the spoiler points into a dramatic, cohesive narrative while keeping the logical flow tight and different from the original. General Hospital. Sonny Corinthos faces his most dangerous blackmail yet. The streets of Port Charles have never been calm, but what is about to unfold threatens to shake the foundations of the Corinthos empire like never before. General Hospital spoilers confirm that Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, will soon find himself cornered by a ruthless adversary who knows just enough to push him into a trap from which there may be no easy escape. Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rota, has been quietly maneuvering in the shadows, and the moment of his strike is finally approaching. This is not just another mob war or courtroom scandal. This is a carefully orchestrated blackmail scheme that could destroy Sonny's relationship with his son, undermine his family, and unravel everything he has fought to protect. Marco Rios sounds the alarm. The chain of events begins not with Sonny, but with Marco Rios, Adrian Ancondo, a man who has long been straddling the dangerous line between loyalty and survival. Marco recently witnessed Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, break down at the hospital in a moment of raw emotion, lashing out physically at Lucas Jones, Van Hansis. The sight shook Marco deeply, not out of compassion, but because he realized how fragile the situation had become. Willow's instability, if left unchecked, could spiral out of control, and Marco knew exactly who could exploit it: Sidwell. Rushing to deliver the news, Marco warned Sidwell that if he wanted to wield the custody case as a weapon against Sonny, the time to act was now. Willow's behavior was eroding her credibility in court, and if Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, were granted permanent custody, Sidwell's leverage would evaporate overnight. What Marco offered Sidwell was not just information, it was urgency. And urgency is exactly what a predator like Sidwell thrives on. Sidwell's calculated patience. Sidwell, ever the strategist, listened carefully. Blackmail is not a game he plays recklessly. He has been waiting for the perfect moment to tighten the noose around Sonny's neck, and Marco's warning served as confirmation that the clock was ticking. Sidwell knew he needed to make his move before the court reached an irreversible decision, and Marco's words provided the spark to accelerate his plan. Sidwell's scheme does not rest solely on Willow's decline. He has something far more dangerous in his arsenal: evidence of judicial corruption. Somewhere in the shadows, a judge's integrity has been compromised with dirty money, and Sidwell knows precisely how to spin this knowledge into a devastating narrative that places Sonny at the center of the scandal. If word leaked that a judge overseeing Michael's custody battle had been bribed, and that the money could be traced back to Sonny, the fallout would be catastrophic. Michael's fragile state, adding fuel to Sidwell's ambitions, is Michael himself. Behind the walls of Metro Court, Michael has been cracking under pressure, his temper flaring and his resolve weakening. He recently lashed out at Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, an altercation that made it clear to everyone watching that Michael is losing control. For Sidwell, this is gold. A father teetering on the edge, a mother unraveling in public, and a judge with dirty secrets. It is the perfect storm. Sidwell is not merely plotting to tarnish Sonny's reputation. His goal is to drive a wedge between Sonny and Michael so deep that neither can recover. If Michael comes to believe that Sonny's underhanded dealings cost him his children, Wiley Corinthos, Viren Weaver, and Amelia Corinthos, Sequoia and Serenity Mork Mako, then the Corinthos family bond will shatter. For Sidwell, nothing would be more satisfying than watching Sonny's empire collapse from within. The invitation in Sidwell's strategy will soon reach its turning point. He is expected to summon Sonny to a private meeting, dangling cryptic promises of information Sonny cannot afford to ignore. Sonny, wary of traps but unwilling to let a potential threat linger, will agree to the meeting, a decision that could mark the beginning of a deadly power struggle. At this clandestine encounter, Sidwell is poised to lay his cards on the table. He will hint that Michael's future as a father depends on Sonny's compliance. He will weave a story of bribery, corruption, and exposure, making it clear that Sonny is the prime suspect if the truth about the judge's dealings ever comes to light. With just a few carefully chosen words, Sidwell intends to blackmail the most feared man in Port Charles. Sonny's response. But Sonny Corinthos is no ordinary target. For decades, he has faced off against enemies far more violent and far more reckless than Sidwell. The difference this time lies not in the bullets or the blood, but in the family ties Sidwell is threatening to sever. Sonny can withstand an attack on his business, his territory, or even his life, but an attack that endangers Michael's custody and drives a wedge between father and son is a far more dangerous battle. Spoilers suggest that Sonny will initially play along, his fury barely contained. He will listen, he will calculate, and he will concede just enough to buy himself time. Yet beneath his outward compliance, Sonny will be plotting his own counterstrike. He may promise Sidwell that he will not forget this betrayal, but such words from Sonny Corinthos are never idle threats. A dangerous game of waiting. The dynamic between Sonny and Sidwell will quickly evolve into a high-stakes waiting game. Sidwell may believe he has the upper hand, armed with secrets and blackmail, but Sonny is nothing if not patient. He understands that revenge is most satisfying when it comes at the precise moment an enemy believes he is safe. Sidwell, blinded by arrogance, may not see the trap closing in on him until it is far too late. This storyline promises not only a legal and emotional battlefield but also a moral one. Sonny has always operated in the gray areas of justice, balancing his role as a father with his identity as a mob boss. Sidwell's blackmail threatens to tip that balance in a way that could have devastating consequences for everyone involved. The path to downfall. General Hospital has long thrived on the rise and fall of its villains, and Sidwell is poised to follow the same trajectory. By targeting Sonny at his most vulnerable point, his family, Sidwell is crossing a line from which there is no return. History has shown that those who push Sonny too far do not survive for long. Whether it comes swiftly or slowly, Sidwell's downfall seems inevitable. The only question is how much damage he will cause before that moment arrives. Conclusion: the calm before the storm. As Port Charles braces for the chaos ahead, one thing is certain: Sidwell's gamble will set off a chain reaction that changes the lives of Willow, Michael, and Sonny forever. The stakes are no longer about power or money, they are about family, loyalty, and betrayal. Sonny Corinthos may be cornered, but he is far from defeated. And when the dust settles, the man who dared to blackmail him may wish he had never set foot in Port Charles. General Hospital spoilers tease that this battle is only beginning. Viewers should stay tuned, because the storm brewing between Sonny Corinthos and Jen Sidwell is about to explode in ways no one could predict. Would you like me to expand this even further into a serialized recap format, breaking it into episode-style sections, with deep dives into each character's emotional state, so that it comfortably exceeds 10,000 characters, or keep it in this tight magazine-style article structure?